A very good evening. Welcome to UBC News tonight. My name is Sharon Chondisha with Mgalu Mohammed on sign language in our top stories of the day. Coming up, suspected ADF killers kill 37, injure 8 and abduct 6 in Lubihira, Kasese district. First Lady Janet Museveni condemns Lubihira Kasese school attack and condoles with families. Minister Kabyanga calls for calm as UPDF pursues suspected ADF militants. And still to come, Supreme Court Judge Stella Aracha Moko is dead. A very good evening once again. In our top stories of the day, Ugandans have been called upon to remain calm as security takes on the task of bringing the situation to normal in Kasese district. This follows an armed attack on Lubiriha Secondary School at Mpondwe border that left over 35 students dead and others critically injured. State Minister for National Guidance Godfrey Kabyanga appeals to Ugandans to stay calm and desist from associating the attack with the recent release of the Mombeni.
Too graphic to show are these pictures. They were taken by some of the first people to arrive at the scene of what is believed to be a terrorist attack in Kasese district. The attack on Lubiriha Secondary School at Mpondwe border took everyone by surprise. The tale by survivors is so horrifying and an easy invitation for tears.
We hid ourselves behind there in the cocoa plantations. So within a short time, we had some other strangers coming, looking for us. For us, we were scared that maybe they are the same people. But good chance they were coming to help us. And that's why we have survived with the 4 people we are seeing.
Really, it's a moment of grief. And I say sorry to all the Kasese people. I say sorry to all the people of this place because really we have lost our people.
The news has been disturbing to the ears of many, including leaders at both local and national levels. Godfrey Kabyanga is the State Minister for National Guidance.
They first killed the gate man, and then after that they went to the boys' hostel, tried to open. The boys had locked themselves in. So when they went to the girls' hostel, they opened it with ease. I think the girls are not locked.
You see, security begins by you yourself. And I want to assure Ugandans that the UPDF may not be everywhere. Even here within Kasese and Mpondwe, we cannot really deploy anywhere. The nearest deployment to this place of UPDF was almost 3 kilometers away. The other farthest was 7 kilometers away from this Mpondwe Lubiriha Secondary School. Now, security is all about who you see in a place and you don't understand who she or he is. If you don't report such a person, then such happens.
According to the Uganda People's Defense Forces, 37 bodies were recovered from the school compound. The dead have since been taken to Bwera Hospital for post-mortem. Bereaved families are yet to come to terms with the situation.
They slapped using hose, hammers, and any kind of equipment. But I could hear the alarms of the students crying, Jesus, 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 Jesus.
UPDF and police started ferrying people here in the midnight. And people were in critical condition. They had brought 5 who were ailing and they needed the blood. They had brought 20 dead bodies.
Last week they burnt a truck of merchandise which was coming from Uganda going to Beni. So that is now the tactics which they are using. But I would like to appeal to the people of Kasese and all Ugandans to be calm. We should cooperate with the security forces, give them information, And I know Kasese people, because for us we had a system of home guards. But when the situation settled, they were disarmed, and we left the whole the whole security in the hands of the armed forces, but LOCs were giving information here and there.
But as State Minister for National Guidance Godfrey Kabyanga calls for calm, what could have gone wrong?
There is a gang of terrorists, and there are several organizations, and they have now joined together. So ADF is changing shape from time to time. Now they have joined the ISIS. There is another group which was in Mozambique. There was another group which was in the Central African Republic. So they keep making alliances, but their main aim is terrorism. So even when there was a small number then, they have already got several alliances, and that's why even when UPDF went last year, they found their big camps. And also it's important to note that they are recruiting even from Uganda here.
The Rwenzori area, under which Kasese falls, has been peaceful for the last 20 years. This is after successful countering of what the same ADF did to Kichwamba Technical College in 1998 in Bundibujo district.
We shouldn't relax. We should all be vigilant. Even those who are not at the border of Kasese, you should be vigilant, because most of the people they are arresting are from Busoga, they are from Bale, they are from Buganda here, from all over the country. Some are from Arua. So that means ADF is continuously recruiting from Uganda and from Congo. And most of the people, most of their force was from Congo, because in Congo, here at least we have a very strong system. But in Congo, the whole of Eastern Congo was a place which had been neglected. And actually it was under control of those dissidents.
The attack happening just a few days after the king of the Rwenzururu, Charles Wesley Mumbere, was set free by the courts of law. Kabyanga warns against connecting the two happenings.
They should be careful, because I know now people are going to bring it and tie it on the Mumbere issue, which will be very, very unfortunate. And that's why I warned political leaders when they were talking so many things, a lot of English on TVs. I said, please talk little English, because someone can easily now connect your words to what has happened, which is very, very unfortunate. But in my heart of hearts, I still believe this is just a mere coincidence.
For now, the pursuit by the UPDF against the attackers continues to rescue the abducted students and apprehend the culprits. Henry Okrut, UBC.
The Uganda People's Defence Forces, UPDF, has regretted attack on Ponde Lubhira, a secondary school in Kasese district. UPDF spokesperson Felix Kulaije concedes that there was some element of failure of intelligence and that this incident calls for re-examination on the part of the security agencies. Details follow.
The Allied Democratic Forces, ADF, on this Friday night attacked Impondwe Lubiriha Secondary School in Kasese district near Congo border and left several students dead and other people.
Children have been killed, 20 hacked to death, 17 burnt dormitories they locked. So you have 37 children killed, you have 6 that were abducted. But those are the forces pursuing to rescue them. Then you have these dormitories that were burnt with the students' properties. So it's quite substantial damage, particularly in terms of human lives.
The spokesperson of the UPDF, Felix Kulaije, concedes that there was some kind of failure on the side of intelligence.
Because we have PISO, we have GISO, parish intelligence officer, the Gombora intelligence officer. These should be picking these things when they come out. But remember, these fellows came from across, and could that be the reason why the information was not picked? Maybe. But that is no reason, that's no excuse for us not to have detected these fellows, because we are supposed to be more vigilant and alert than even them. So that's why I said now it's a learning experience for us again to check ourselves and make corrective measures. These things happen, one, but two, we have not reneged in our mandate. We are definitely going to do even better. You recall they did such a thing in 1998 in Chichwamba Technical School, and they have not been able to do it again because of the vigilance that we picked from that time. So even now, certainly we are going to increase our vigilance. But two, we are also going to increase on mobilization of the population so that they always look out for such a negative elements.
Top leadership in the UPDF have visited the scene to establish the facts that led to the ugly incident. It is alleged that after the incident, the rebels fled across the porous border into the Democratic Republic of Congo. Diana Kuti, UBC.
Now, the First Lady and Minister for Education and Sports, Janet Museveni, has condoled with the families who lost their children during the Kasese attack. Janet expressed confidence that Uganda's People's Defense Forces will get the culprits and bring them to book for the atrocities committed. She said officials from Ministry of Education and Sports, led by the State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, have travelled to Kasese to sympathise with the community, as you're about to witness.
Who were burnt in the dormitory are not easily recognized. So, however, the bodies were taken to the mortuary. And then the 20 girls also were killed. Now we know that they were killed with pangas. The auditors spent some 2 days at that school auditing the books of the school, and they finished on Thursday and left the school on Thursday, and the children were killed on Friday. So another point that came up, that this school has been there has been groups in Kasese who wanted to take it over, but because the school was built by an NGO, there has been that conflict between those groups that wanted to take over the school and the NGO which actually built the school. There's an impression that perhaps the terrorist group may have been used by the people who were fighting to take over the school to do what they have done. But that information will come out at a later stage. My colleague, Honorable Muyingo, who quickly flew to that area, to the school, with the permanent secretary for the Ministry of Education and the commissioner in charge of private schools, to get to the grassroots and really find out more information so that we can know exactly what happened. The President also helped us with some support for the affected families to help to arrange the funerals and help them to manage in this very difficult time. So on behalf of the government of Uganda and the Ministry of Education and Sports, and my own behalf, I express our sincere condolences and deepest sympathies to the bereaved families, the students, the staff of this school on this terrible tragedy. I want to appeal to all people of goodwill in the country to pray for those families and the community in the area parents across the country, please do not panic. Our children are safe, and they will remain safe. They are evil people, and they are trying to harm our children, but they will not manage always. I am confident that the God we serve, who sees all things, will lead the UPDF force to track down these evil people, and they will pay for what they have done.
On that very note, the government has delivered support to families of the victims of today's attack in Kasese, where 37 students lost their lives. Minister of State for Higher Education, Dr. Chrysostom Muyingo, led a team from Ministry of Education and Sports to Lubiriha Secondary School in Kasese District. The team later visited survivors currently hospitalized at Weda Hospital.
You go to the gate.
Kungubaga n'okusaasira families z'abaana baffe abafiiridde mu njega, abasitiddwa, abajambula bayita ba terrorists mu ssomero lyaffe Empondwe. Kitalo era kitalo nnyo. Gavumenti eri wamu n'abantu b'ekitundu kino okulaba nti tuyita mu kaseera kano akazibu. Tugenda nga gavumenti okulaba nti buli famire tugikwatirako esobole okuziika obulungi, nga buli famire tugiwa $5 million kuziika abaana abafa abatufuddeko. Tujja genda mu maaso n'okulabirira abaana baffe abo bakyali mu bulumi mu malwaliro, era gavumenti ejja balabirira, n'essomero tujja kulaba nga naye tuliyamba okudda mu mbeera enesobozesa abaana baffe okusoma obulungi, kubanga taamu yatandika okusoma kulina okugenda mu maaso. Njagala kukubira mulanga abantu b'e Kasese, abantu b'ekitundu kino nti tukolagane bulungi nnyo n'abasirikale ba gavumenti okulaba nti abantu abayinza okuba nti tetubategeera bulungi mu kitundu kyaffe tubalipootinga bose ekyo ne batereeza mu ngeri zaabwe. Nekirala kinsaba abaana temubajja mu masomero, abaana mubatwale basome, kubanga gavumenti ekikoze kyonna kyonna ekisoboka ejja kukikola okulaba nti abaana baffe gye bali mu masomero bali safe and secure.
On his routine visit and interactions with wananchi, Operation Shujaa Commander Major General Dick Holum has been emphasizing safeguarding of civilians and dismantling of the Allied Defense Forces ADF occupying the eastern side of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Friday night, however, elements of ADF militants attacked Lubiriha Secondary SS in Nyabugwanda Parish, Karambi Sub-County in Kasese District, killing several students and people from neighboring communities. General Lum, who has already visited the area, continues to assure the wananchi of stabilizing of the Rwenzori sub-region and eastern part of Democratic Republic of Congo. Haruna reports.
In November 1996, ADF perpetrated its first large-scale attack on towns of Wera, Mpondwe, Lubiriha, where over 50 people were killed, many sustained injuries and others abducted. 2 years later, in 1998, ADF raided Kichwamba Technical College in Kabaro district, killing 80 students. On the night of Friday, 16th June 2023, ADF attacked Lubiriha Senior Secondary School in Nyabuganda Parish, Kalambi Sub-County in Kasese district, where 37 people have been confirmed dead, 6 abducted, and 8 were injured. The 301 Brigade under the command of Lieutenant Colonel Jet Liabe are pursuing the ADF in the jungles where they are suspected to be hiding. Over 2 decades, UPDF has been conducting operations in Rwenzori sub-region, battling the ADF until the initiation of Operation Soldier in 2021.
Choma hii gara ambayo ilikuwa katikati hapo, hiyo yote ilikuwa uchungu ya kuona kwamba amewachukia hata nyinyi leo. Jana namna alikuwa anasikiliza na nyinyi, kurubadisha roho. Ukasema no, sehemu tumefikia, sasa iko kwa upande ya Paradisi na UPDF.
Of why they would want to go and work in Congo, but they fear for their security and in terms of roads. I told them, no, the roads are now secure, from Beni up to Butembo, from Beni up to Kasindi, so they can as well go and do business. I explained to them the reason as to why the government of Uganda, particularly the president of Uganda, has been constructing the road from Kasindi to Beni, Beni to Butembo, and eventually to Kisangani. So I told them the UPDF protects those roads. And if the UPDF protects those roads, that means it is free for Ugandans to travel on that road, to do business, and do it in a very safe way.
UPDF and Fadaka Army are conducting a joint military operation codenamed Suja, commanded by Major General Dick Olum, intended to drive the militants out of their bases.
Place, attack, loot, and kill. And they don't only stop in attacking, looting, and killing, but sometimes they even attack the FRDC positions. In most cases, when they get a weak position, they will attack. And once they attack, they get that opportunity to get guns and to get those uniforms. Deployments, yes, that's tactical. That's also operational for us at our levels. But we believe that at an opportune time, we shall make necessary deployments, which I think safeguards the positions of the civilians who go cultivating in all these areas, giving them security en route and strategic areas where we can deploy them. Yes, that we shall effect. When and how, that remains an issue that we shall do ourselves.
In Kasese district, residents expressed support for the Uganda People's Defense Forces UPDF deployment in Congo to fight the ADF rebels.
How are you, Tungu? Yes.
Watugambe diki ebere okulira kirabika twakatwine essubi eriganti tujja kumalako n'okwongera kufuna emirembe. Akasese byokwerinda bali batugamba ffe wano ebiri e Congo katengere omukulu gyatugambye atugeza okizula nga bya bulimba.
Kafeezo tuba tuzekengera sayo n'abantu baveeri bakurosingira mu nsozi zaffe zino eza Rwenzori kati bwe tulengera security ngeri tight naffe no wansi tweyongera okunywera kati awo bwe oba tulaba omuntu gwe otategedde engeri gye batuwadde namba wano olina owayo information tulina mesa awo tuba banywevu.
Wananchi, especially those that tasted the wrath of ADF before, are optimistic now about the return of the ADF in Rwenzori after the Operation Suja's intervention. The presence of the rebels in eastern DRC hindered the small cross-border trade. Therefore, securing the eastern part of DRC will give relief to people of Kasese, which borders the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo. Haruna Mtesasira, UBC News.
Thank you so much, Haruna Mtesasira. We pray that the Lord strengthens the families of those that lost the little children that died from the massacre. In more stories, the former Prime Minister of Uganda, Dr. Ruhakana Rugunda, and other African leaders have today held peace talks with the President of Russia, Vladimir Putin, in a move aimed at ending the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war. The high-level meeting was held in St. Petersburg, Russia. Dr. Rugunda is the special envoy representing President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni in the mediation process. Now, the delegation of African leaders from 7 African countries on a peace mission to resolve the conflict that has negatively affected the world economy.
Your Excellency, Chairperson of the African Union, President of the Union of the Comoros, Mr. Azali Assoumani, Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Senegal, Mr. Macky Sall, Your Excellency, President of the Republic of South Africa, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, Your Excellency, Prime Minister of the Arab Republic of Egypt, Mr. Mustafa Madbouli, distinguished representatives of Uganda and Congo, dear friends, I am sincerely glad to welcome you all to St. Petersburg. Comprehensive development of our ties with countries on the African continent is a priority of the Russian foreign policy. We have been consistently promoting further strengthening of traditionally friendly relations with African countries.
Let me say that we would like to thank you for agreeing to meet us. We are a 7 African nations peace initiative. We are essentially on a peace mission to try and promote peace between Russia, Ukraine, in this conflict. We have some 7 points or 10 points that we would like to raise. Our proposal really revolves around 10 elements. The first, of course, is that we want to listen. We're here to listen. As we did listen yesterday to President Zelensky, he outlined a number of issues to us, and we did tell him that we would be meeting you, where we would also listen to your perspective on this war. We want to listen with respect and also with recognition of the views that you will put forward to us. But we also recognize the many other proposals that have been put forward by a number of key players in the world who have put forward peace proposals. And our proposals are not in competition with the other proposals that have been put forward. The 10th point President Putin is that we would like to see further engagements with regard to the processes that will lead to the end of this war. We articulated this point specifically with President Zelensky, and he agreed that yes, as the African continent and as African countries that are here, we can play a role. So we would like to urge that beyond this engagement today, there should be further engagements, because ending wars that tend to take a number of meetings and engagements. And as the African continent represented, the 7 countries who are here, we do believe that there's a contribution we can make.
Speaking of prisoners of war, the process is underway, and I thank you for mentioning this issue. Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, and other partners of ours do a lot for this process, and we are ready to continue. Children. Children are something sacred. We evacuated those children from the conflict zone, saving their lives and health. This is what took place. No one wanted to separate those children from their families. We evacuated entire orphanages, and it was fully legal because the heads, the directors of those orphanages, are legal representatives of those children. We are not against children being reunited with their families when their families surface. We have never made any obstacles in this process, and we will never.
Moving on from that, there's been a series of belated Women's Day celebrations into the country. This day is being used as an occasion to celebrate successes Ugandans registered in empowering women and to find solutions to the pending challenges.
Prime Minister Robinah Nabbanja was in Mitoma district to preside over a belated Women's Day celebrations. The celebrations took place at Chamuyanga Primary School playground in Kibira Town Council.
Ngonza kusima abantu ba Mitoma na government yetu ya NRM habukuba emirimu ekozire nyingi hano itakusobora kuchwachwana baitu kwenda kubagambira already nizire bampaire report ku Ministry ya Health ngo Mitoma Health Center 4 will be upgraded to a district hospital. Already 1.5 billion has been paid and it is going to be constructed by Army Engineering Brigade. Mwina Marwaro Health Center sirige mukozire, Bitereko Health Center siri baliyo bakujikora esobole kuika Health Center 4. Rutoke Health Center 2 ili Rutoke Town Council is being upgraded to Health Center 3. Lero lyobalizeo Nyakizinga Health Center teina Irwaro tujja jiwe Irwaro inyo kimu kyoka kutera karuru ka museveni nasini eja kufuna as long as NRM government under the wise leadership of Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is in leadership, everything is possible.
The day was also used to fundraise for the respective women groups in the district.
Chamuyanga Catholic Parish, $1 million. Chamuyanga Primary School abasomesa batungenju $1 million. Mitoma women groups $1 million.
In a gesture of friendship and solidarity, a cross-section of MPs from other districts also graced the occasion. They made various financial contributions towards the women groups in Mitoma district. A total of 2.9 billion Uganda shillings has so far been disbursed to Mitoma district under the parish development model, and 73 parishes out of 77 have received this money.
2.9 billion, $1 billion ibiri ne million ruenda bakazileta hano kukora parish model. Kandi tukimanyira abamu mukafuna na abatakafunire muije kufuna. Abo kuba tukagamba buli muruka $1 million omwaka guno. Okugaruka president atekero mu budget $1 million. N'okugaruka $1 million. 2026 $1 million. 2028 $1 million. 2030 milioni 10 tukwenda bulimuruka kutunga banka nuko musobole kweyamba kurugo mbwafu.
Nabanja said government allocated 1.1 trillion shillings for PDM and 100 billion for a mega program in the next financial year to boost household incomes.
Omuntu na ofisi ya Prime Minister tugire bugwerezi ofisi ya Witiri Kanjerera ikapiriza food items yapiriza amabate we bari mnonga ofisi ya Witiri ndakarijirabo twaraga kutembeho nangwa umuyaga gwatwara katarikitu twapandikira agatarako kakaba kariya harugutu kabiro mutawuni ababira affected mnonga business zabo kakakwatumura kasya yiciro business z'abantu zaho nangwa n'ubujuna bwe bwasi bwene tukapandikira kunga tumango ine byingi ungatwa twizisya kugume no kitekatekaho ombahagizo.
The Prime Minister assured the district leadership that government plans to construct Kabwo Herukunjiri Road. The district women council members appreciated all government interventions so far and wished the president a quick recovery and good health. This belated Women's Day celebrations was organized by the woman member of parliament, Juliet Agasha Bashisha.
When I tell everyone that you're in love with me, congratulations and jubilations. I want the world to know.
The Joint Security Forces of UPDF and Police Anti-Stock Theft Unity in Karamoja have paraded 4 local leaders who were arrested after issuing fake letters of traceability to traders for stolen animals. Among the suspects are LC1 and 2 leaders and traders. This comes after security forces passing a new guideline concerning livestock trade in Karamoja, which was aimed at reducing commercialized rates in the region. This was during the press conference held at the 3rd Division headquarters in Moroto District, attended by the 3rd Division Commander Major General Don Nabas, second in command at the 3rd Division Brigadier General Felix Busizori, Anti-Stock Theft Unit Commandant Elias Kasidabo, Mountain Moroto Regional Police Commander Francis Chemso, among others.
Last month, the Joint Security Forces of UPDF and Police Anti-Stock Theft Unit passed new guidelines to livestock traders in Karamoja sub-region, and 2 exit routes for verification were put at Nandu Gate in Moroto and in Karenga districts.
Of 1 month, total suspects arrested in regard to livestock theft are 16. I wish to inform you that in this arrest we have LC1 from Kotido, 3 LC1s from Kotido, and 1 from Amadat. Why are LCs arrested when actually they are supposed to help in dealing with this criminality? They are supposed to give traceability documents for animals in their localities, and when they give forged documents or they give documents pertaining a stolen animal, it is upon them to explain.
And we have now been able to arrest both the thieves and the trader.
The 3rd Division Commander, Major General Don Williams Nabasa, and Kasidabo explained facilitators of commercialized raids in Karamoja.
Forged movement permits and other documents indicating, for example, 20 cows. But when they reach the market, they buy 5 and load on their trucks. And then they keep topping up along the way, which is, of course, a very clear indicator that they are in connection with the thieves.
Verified since then up to today, 1 month review, 2,903 heads of cattle have been verified exiting Karamoja, 4,069 showers verified. Through that verification, 4 animals, 4 livestock have been found to have been stolen. We go to them and we are given to their rightful owners.
Security bosses in Karamoja explain other measures to end insecurity in Karamoja.
By beefing up the security in areas which are more troubled, including the use of force multipliers such as the drones and helicopters that provide surveillance and quick response respectively.
We intend to introduce the Gombora internal security officers in sanctioning the movement of animals to augment the efforts of the LOCs.
Meanwhile, Mount Moroto Regional Police Command Assistant Commissioner of Police Francis Chemto explains the crime rates in South Karamoja between April and May.
The shooting comes in. In the month of April, we registered 8 cases, and in the month of May, we registered 7 cases.
Chemto says that the use of dogs has helped arrest criminals in the region.
Kings and theft. This makes a total of 15 cases reported to us in the months of April and May. There have been success of 10 cases where we have been able to arrest suspects, recover exhibits, and cases are ongoing.
Since the new guidelines, local council leaders who were issuing LC1 letters in the markets were arrested in Kotido and Amdat districts. Story compiled by Maureen Iga.
Ebisera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu kano kalipagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripsi. Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyizi *185*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erunganisibwa banka enkulu ya Uganda.
Uganda's oil and gas projects are providing opportunities for Ugandan businesses. Between 2017 and 2022, 40% of the 3,800 procurements worth $4.4 billion were awarded to 460 Ugandan companies. This includes 41 community-based companies that have been awarded contracts worth $2.3 million. In order to be contracted to supply goods and services for oil activities in Uganda, entities must register on the National Suppliers Database. Over 2,300 entities are registered on the National Suppliers Database. Registration is free. The Petroleum Authority of Uganda, creating lasting value in Uganda's oil journey.
Dear Airtel customer, we know that there are days when unexpected stays in hospital stand in the way of your family's welfare. That is why Hospital Center is here to give you up to 100,000 shillings every night you spend in hospital. Hospital Center also offers up to 4 million in funeral benefit. Dial *185*7*6# to purchase Hospital Center on Airtel Money for as little as 1,000, 3,000 or 5,000 shillings a month. Your cover for the first 1 month is free. Hospital Center is underwritten by Prudential and powered by Duraco. Prudential and Duraco are regulated by the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda. Airtel Money is regulated by the Bank of Uganda.
Ojja kumpa irisiti tompa birala irisiti ojja kumpa irisiti tompa birala mpa irisiti yange.
That's right. Insist on getting your e-receipt. It's your ticket to fantastic prizes, including motorbikes, laptops, fridges, and a fully paid 6-day safari for 2 in Uganda. Take a picture of your e-receipt, upload it to the URA website or mobile app, and you could be the lucky winner. The more receipts you upload, the higher your chances of winning. Terms and conditions apply. More details on our social media channels.
Uganda Revenue Authority. Developing Uganda together.
Jerry con. Jerry con. Hey, Master Blaster. Touch him, man. Buy Jerry con with muscle. Those ones who say go for you only. Mundava. First group is I teach you. But never come with the muscari. Because of the cover that is very far. Is you serious? It's just you. What? Yeah? You step it on it. Add kilometers to your legs. And you get your sugar. We buy meat from Umaru. And Umaru refuse to give you enough meat. Mama! Show him that they don't joke with you. Umaru, Jerry car.
Okukakaluka n'okulungi kwetaagako omuntu akuyambako n'olwekyo tujja kukuteerawo embeera esaanidde osobole okukola ekisinga awamu teri kitulema.
Thank you so much for still watching UBC News Tonight. And in more stories, women mobilizers for General Muhoozi Kainerugaba under the umbrella of MK Movement Women Brigade have joined residents of Bujiri municipality in a cleaning exercise. This is an event preceding the Sunday 18th of June 2023 structure launch in the area. Take a look as Onyango reports.
This Saturday morning, a section of Bugiri municipality leaders have teamed up with the leaders of MK Movement Women Brigade, Agoji, for a general cleaning exercise. The exercise has been conducted across major streets, parks and markets in Bugiri municipality.
We are extremely delighted to have received this team to help us in a sanitation program. We urge the government to continue giving us such a program once it requires.
For Bugiri community hails the MK Movement Women Brigade leaders for the initiative.
Nendo okusooka okwebaza abantu ba Bugiri Municipal Council bonna n'ekibiina kya Goji ekiri okutugemeraku okuyonda ekibuga kyaife. Kintu kirungi ino kye bakoze lwakuba ekibuga kibeeremu kwebikaba nga bwe mwidi nti tulakinga transport etwala ebikaba aye beebale ino batuyambye ino era kye batukoleire tukisiimye ino.
Among the areas repunctured included Bugiri Main Hospital.
So ndokwebaza abakulembeze banange bona betubeere n'abawalala nga tutereza tawuni yaife aya ataka enswiso nebaza Bugiri community, Bugiri Municipal Council community kuba tubeere walala nabo bona tubatukalubiriza kunti obono aina wapate no wa igwanga lino ayirwa olwebulungi bwa Municipal Council yaife n'olwa development ya Bugiri.
So omukisa guno okweyanza abantu bona aba participating mu activity eno eyo cleaninga ekibuga kyaife ekye Bugiri.
The visiting team, however, calls on the communities to carry on the gospel of having a clean environment regardless of their political affiliations.
Twagala kusima jeno webale kutwagala abantu eno bakwagalira ddala nkya tusaba executive committee ya MK Women Brigade eye Bugiri buli mwezi mutegeka guno omukolo mbenga muyonje kibuga kyamwe eno Bugiri ne bwe tubate tuzze mwe mutegeka ne mukola ki ne muyonja.
The problem we have as a municipality, we don't have a garbage truck. Those are one of the problems that are affecting our hygiene in the entire municipality. The tractor we have is very old. We received it during a town board time, and now we are at the municipality status. The number increases every time.
The general cleaning exercise is part of the 2 days activities by the brigade and will be climaxed by a football competition and launch of leadership structures in the sub-region on Sunday 18th June 2023. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Lower Road District NRM Chairperson Ronald Ndaula has advised Ugandans to practice mature politics that embrace politicians that deliver for growth. This was during a Thanksgiving service to celebrate life, especially after surviving the dreaded COVID-19 disease.
As Uganda nears its next general election, Luwero District National Resistance Movement chairperson Ronald Ndaula has advised mature politics to develop the area.
Ababaka baffe ababagamba mu kyawe gavumenti nze sikkaanya nabo olw'ensonga bo bwe bamala bwe tumala obatuusaayo ne bagenda mu paalamenti bo buli ennaku z'omwezi 3 balina obukadde 4 ku akawunti ng'essimu ekaaba tukuteereddeyo ameka ne bwe baagala okulaba omupiira bagenda Bungereza si bwe kiri naye ng'ebisaawe birina okuzimbwa abaana bamwe balina okusoma mubalabako amakubo gammwe galina okutambula mubalabako kakati ate bw'amala n'akugamba oyo musajja mubi temugenda gy'akola ki.
This was during a Thanksgiving service at his Chekombwa village residence in Katikamu North. The Thanksgiving was graced by several members of the public, including clergy and politicians, that hailed and gifted Ndaula for his contribution to Luwero.
Mumasinzizo we wali embeera etuzza mu layini etubeera abantu abaki abalungi omulangira webale kutuyambako.
Basebo ne banyabo mwami Ndaula ng'ali mu town council yazimba office za Luwero town council wetutuula n'azitandika. Mwami Ndaula n'atandika paaka y'e Luwero. Mwami Ndaula n'atandika ekisaawe ky'e Luwero. Mwami Ndaula antuulira n'abantu bennyini babimanye ebiki ebirala. Ettaka lya kasasiro gye tumuyiwa e Kalongo oyo yali Mwami Ndaula.
Creation of new administrative units is one undertaking that government embarked on as a way of extending services closer to the people. However, geopolitical and policy analysts see no need to create new units, describing those already in operation as enough. Former Member of Parliament for Bukoto South, Haji Muyanja Mbabali, wants government to concentrate more on already existing units for effective service delivery. Take a look.
The last time a new district was created in Uganda was in May 2020. Terego, whose residents had rejected the idea of being part of Maracha district, had remained part of Arua. Then finally, it became independent thanks to the debate and favorable vote from the 10th Parliament.
Right Honorable Moruno Soro here, on behalf of the people of Arua district, I vote yes.
Now that Terego has been carved out of Arua, they are long-awaited district for Terego. I'm the most happiest, and I give the glory to God.
Today, Uganda has over 140 districts, up from 35 in the early 1990s.
National Planning Authority has been giving recommendations that please stop expanding districts, cities, municipalities, etc. to reduce on public expenditure, but the government has continued to expand.
This was geopolitical analyst Professor Mwambusi Ndebesa in May 2023. He was speaking during the midterm review of the third National Development Plan. He was concerned that districts were endlessly created against guidance from the National Planning Authority.
I sometimes joke that the National Planning Authority is an authority without authority. You have intellectual authority, but you have no implementation policy, and that's why there is implementation deficit.
But how agreeable is this point of view to other people?
The issue of creating more districts came through decentralization, so that power is taken nearer to the people. Services is taken nearer to the people. That was the essence. The smaller the unit, the better management. That's what it was meant by creating more districts, so that the services are nearer to the people.
He wants the original vision and mission of creating districts concretized, other than creating more.
No, I think we have had enough. It's better to maintain what we have, and then they are effectively managed and funded, because everything has been done to districts. The funds are there, the youth livelihood is there, the women funds are there. It's now management
But to what extent has decentralization lived up to the original motive of extending services closer?
I can give you an example of massacre. It was one massacre, now it is 10 districts. Think of a situation. Now, each district now has got its own LC5 for management and the entire management. But think of a situation that it was one man by then, going to Kalangala, going where it was not possible. Now it is very easy and effectively managed.
Some areas in the country continue to demand for these new districts, something policy analysts say is not necessary anymore. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Thank you so much, Henry Okrut. Now, government of Uganda's introduction of the new curriculum has received plaudits from education stakeholders in Ibanda district. This was at Nyabuhiche Secondary School, as you're about to witness.
Government's commitment to improve education is being heralded at schools, including the government-aided and Catholic-founded universal education provider, Nyabuhiche Senior Secondary School in Ibanda.
This school is a USE school, and it is implementing the new curriculum, where the pioneers are in senior 3. I thank the government of Uganda, our beloved president, for the infrastructure. The government constructed for us 16 classrooms. They constructed for us a laboratory of 2 rooms. They constructed for us, they gave us computers. And this has attracted the enrollment to increase, and with the good performance. So in senior 1, the new curriculum, the males, they are 145. The girls, they are 195. Those are 340 students in senior 1. Then in senior 2, there are 100 boys and 146 girls, and that is 246 students in senior 2. All those are studying new curriculum. Then in senior 3, there are 105 boys and 114 girls. And that is totaling 219.
The school's improvement in provision of quality education has realized increase in science learning intake, making the available space limited, and thus a call for more.
But due to the fact that this school is improving on a drastic speed, we have received large numbers of students, and since the space for science is less, we have 2 blocks. We would request the government to add us 2 more blocks, which would accommodate the highly increasing numbers.
Some other noticeable positive at Nyabuhiche Senior Secondary School is the attitude towards skilling lessons, with many learners venturing into subjects like fine art.
Attention coffee farmers, traders and processors. Uganda Coffee Development Authority has important advice for a successful harvest season. Pick only red farm cherries to achieve good weight and high quality coffee. For natural processing, dry coffee on tarpaulin, concrete or clothing to avoid mold growth. Avoid heaping coffee on the floor. Store coffee in jute bags and in ventilated rooms on wooden pellets. For more information on good harvest practices, visit your nearest extension worker or Uganda Coffee Development Authority offices.
You're still watching UBC News Tonight. Lastly, a family in Kawanda Village, Nansana Municipality, Wakiso District, is appealing to government for assistance following threats to evict them from their land. This is after the resident district commissioner Nansana Municipality in Soboga, Ali Shafiq, attempted to help them but were not satisfied. We have details on this story.
The family of Senoga Po, a resident of Kai Zone, Kawanda, located in Nansana Municipality, Wakiso, are crying following threats of evicting. Senoga Po, the owner of the land, has now appealed to the office of the president and State House Land Committee to intervene.
To come to my rescue
and I get back my land and I start developing it as I'm supposed to.
According to Senoga and fellow relatives, he acquired the land from National Agricultural Research Organization Kawanda as the landlord and has since then been paying ground rent.
The RDC Ali Safiki Nsobuga, who himself came and handed over this land to me, he encouraged me to continue and use it. I is the same official who came with the goons and they demolished the structure.
And the bananas of Mosaic were uprooted. So we appealed to the authorities from the President, Prime Minister, Minister of Lands, State House Lands to help the Mosaic to get what he saved for.
A lawyer to Senoga Po, Chiza Abdallah, says his client bought the land in 2004 and was given a certificate of occupancy from the registered proprietor National Agricultural Research Organization of Kawanda, which regularizes their ownership.
This Chibanja was acquired through sweat. There was sacrifice that was made to acquire this Chibanja. All the formal regularities, procedural regularities required for Senoga to have this Chibanja have been gone through, and we request that Your Excellency, the Minister for Presidency, Muchala Babalanda, Mama Babalanda, please let Ali go off this Chibanja.
The resident district commissioner, Nasara Municipality, Ali Shafiki Nsubuga, advised the occupants to be calm until matters are settled by relevant authorities.
This land belongs to Naro Research Center. So my simple advice to them is for them to go and revise their remedies together with Director Naro. If they can even afford to go and see Minister for Agriculture, Mr. Honorable Frank Tumwebaze, it's clearly positive. But on my side, me, I'm there to protect government land and its property together with protection of my people.
The land in question measures about 5 acres, surrounded by different industries and residential houses. Robert Katamba, UBC News.
That's all we had for you tonight. My name is Sharon Chunduch. Have a lovely night and a blessed Sunday. Bye-bye.